Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here at the AN Racing Workshop. Aston, thank you for having us.
My pleasure, man. You're welcome anytime.
Hey, Roo, what are we up to today?
Okay, we're going to be doing some dyno testing today. Hopefully we make some ponies.
Hopefully. We don't know what ponies this makes. Keeping in mind, we've got to account for altitude, humidity, but we know that these numbers on this dyno are going to be what we're comparing to throughout the rest of the series.
What people need to bear in mind is that a dyno is just a tool. My dyno will read differently to someone else's dyno. So I know there's a lot of guys out there, their bikes make 100,000 zillion million horsepower. On this dyno, it's pretty shy, so it underreads quite a bit.
A little bit, but that's not a problem, because at the end of the day, we're just comparing our own figures against our own figures.
Now we are struggling with audio in this video. There's a full BST workshop downstairs. They do the carbon rims, send them around the world. It's awesome that Aston's workshop is in their factory, but it is a bit loud for the dyno itself. We're running fans, we're running this engine to its limits. The audio is not the best, but just stick around, it's going to get better.
So this is going to be stock KLX, stock figures. We also plan on drilling out the exhaust, and maybe trying out one or two little tricks.
Yeah, some hillbilly backyard mechanics.
Personally, this is my first time dyno tuning, so I didn't know the process, but it's nice and quick. Aston just quickly calibrates the dyno to the bike, then it's time for some testing.
There you go.
Next episode, the KLX is getting a retro sticker kit. Bok Branding is hooking us up. Links in the description.
Damn! Okay, let's see if we can give this another run.
Woo! Okay. 0-0, let's get it done.
Now while we do this dyno run, I just want to say a huge thank you to our channel sponsors for this build, Thuleka Chemicals, Bok Branding and AN Racing. But we'll chat more about them later in the episode.
Okay guys, looks like we've gotten 5 horses, 5 of them ponies. We're going to put a little bit of chain lube. You saw how this chain looks earlier in the series, so hopefully we get a little bit more horsepower.
No.
Should do it.
First run might be a bit down because it was idling now and the fan wasn't on.
Well, here we go. The proof's in the pudding. The chain lube works. So, Motul, we're not sponsored by you, but if you do want to sponsor the channel in the future, we're always open to it.
5.3. Okay, that I can't believe. We've actually gained like 0.3, 0.4 of a horsepower by just lubricating the chain. So every little bit's gonna count on this build. We're actually about to pull the exhaust off, drill it out. Hopefully we make a little bit more power. Aston's busy pulling the pipe off now. We're gonna try drill out that stock exhaust there. See if we can get any horsepower gains here. Aston, what you thinking about the stock exhaust hole here?
I can't believe how small it is. No wonder it only made 5 horsepower. Shame, man. Needs to breathe, brother.
Needs to breathe. We need to make some power. Okay, so we're already making some space here, but we're going to go with the die grinder now, see what we can do.
Yeah, we see the red dot.
Now we're live.
There's a red dot there. Alright, sick.
Okay, we're going to do some predictions. Aston, what do you think?
I reckon we're going to gain another 0.6 of a horsepower. So we started at 5.3. I think we're going to go to 5.9.
Okay, our rates, yeah, probably about a half a horsepower. We are still restricted at the back, but we've just opened up the front. So
bear in mind, half horsepower on 5 horsepower is like 10%. So that's actually massive.
Yeah,
you think half horsepower is not a lot, but on this bike, it's huge.
Alrighty. Starting with nothing.
Now if you're wondering why the KLX looking so clean and spiffy for its age, I mean it is 20 years old, that's thanks to Thuleka Chemicals. They supplied all the detergent to keep this build looking great. Links in the description.
5.9 baby! Guys, every episode we're going to be modding this KLX until it's a CRF killer like it needs to be. But from you guys, I need in the comments, what mods do you want to see?
Okay, sweet guys. So what we're looking at here, this is our base run. So we're sitting at 4.8 horsepower and 6 Newton meters of torque.
Yep.
The red line is your horsepower graph, and the green line is the torque. All right. So what you'll see is if you are measuring in horsepower and Newton meters, obviously some guys measure in kilowatts and foot-pounds of torque. But with horsepower and Newton meters, your graphs always intersect at 7,000 RPM. So it's just a fun fact. So you'll see any dyno graph that has horsepower and Newton meters, the graphs always intersect at 7,000, unless the graph is cut short. But what we're looking at here is we started the run at 3,000 RPM and we ran it to 10,000, and then it gives us an elapsed time over that RPM range. So even if we don't see a change in horsepower or torque, we may see a change in the run time, which is always fun to look at.
Yeah, so what were we doing stock there?
So stock is a 22.158 second run.
Fair enough, yep.
And then basically after we had lubed the chain, So the bike will warm up and it'll probably gain 0.1 or 0.2 of a horsepower.
Yeah.
But then after that we lubed the chain, and we got it from, let's see here, I think we got it from 5 horsepower to 5.3 horsepower. So this here is the difference. So these are two graphs, two runs overlaid on top of one another. Okay, so your dotted lines are the run where we put the chain lube on, and then the solid lines were the previous run, just before that.
Okay, so already a pretty decent gain.
So across the rev range, across the rev range, if you look at, let's say we take 5,000 RPM, with no chain lube, we are sitting at 3.9 horsepower, and then with the chain lube on, at the same RPM 5,000,
wow,
4.173 horsepower. So
0.3 horsepower
gain basically across the board.
Wow.
And what's cool about that is that translates into your change in elapsed time from 3,000 to 10,000. So we went from a 21-second run down to a 19-second run. So almost 2 seconds. Just by putting on chain lube, you know. So that's why when your mechanics tell you to lube your chain, make sure your air filter's clean, all that type of stuff, it's actually for your own good. So, you know, maybe take the advice.
Take the advice, guys.
And then after that, we did some modifications where we took the exhaust off and we just drilled it out and tried to match the exhaust to the exhaust port itself. Take test 4 over here and then give our max power, which I think was test 9. So yeah, we actually had a massive gain. Ooh. So that's huge. I mean, our runtime went from 19.9 down to 17.8. So we dropped another 2 seconds.
And that's over and above
the chain lube.
The chain lube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, incredible. You know. So you can see, like, where would our biggest gain be? Probably 9,500 RPM. So we were making 4.3 horsepower, and now we're making 5.4. So over a horse gain.
That's incredible.
Impressive.
That's incredible.
So yeah, very cool to see. We didn't actually get to the rev limiter, but there was no need to run the bike any higher than this because our peak power was achieved at around 7,500, which is, according to the engineers, that's where it makes
how
power.
it was designed.
Yeah. So yeah, quite impressive. Minor modifications and some big gains. So cool stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I think those gains aren't bad at all. Obviously there's more power to be made out of this little machine. So in the comments below, let me know what mods you guys want to see and we're gonna do them. Otherwise, this is Aston, this is AN Racing Shop, and if you're racing bikes and you're not coming here, I don't know
you're
what
not winning
doing.
then, brother.
That's it, you're not winning, guys. Cheers.